It appeared to be a normal night at the Frost home. Known for their entrepreneurial flair, Kirk and Rasheeda had been balancing their businesses and family obligations while attempting to keep their marriage intact. Rumors concerning Kirk's devotion and Rasheeda's mounting annoyances as the pair navigated the tumultuous and glamorous world of reality television were, however, seething beneath the surface. Few couples have drawn as much attention from the public as Kirk and Rasheeda Buckner Frost. Drama, love, treachery, and ambition have all been a part of their journey on Love and Hip Hop. But recent occurrences have rocked their fan following, transforming their once invincible friendship into a controversy that makes headlines. Unfortunately, this was real life, although the scene would have made for interesting television. The atmosphere grew increasingly tense as the evening went on. What started as a dispute over everyday domestic issues swiftly escalated into a furious altercation with insults and rising voices. The couple's frustrations boiled over, and the house, once filled with laughter and love, now echoed with anger. Concerned by the noise, neighbors called 911 to report a domestic disturbance. As the situation escalated, the Frost residence was met by officers who arrived at the scene. Tension filled the air when the police arrived. Both Kirk and Rasheeda were visibly upset, their emotions raw. The officers carefully observed the situation, trying to understand the full scope of what had occurred. The couple, once the epitome of glamour and success, was now at the center of a very real crisis. The cracks in their relationship had finally become too visible to ignore, leaving their future uncertain, and their lives, once so carefully curated for public consumption, now exposed for all to see. After interviewing both parties and conducting a quick situational analysis, the police made the decision to arrest Kirk because Rasheeda appeared to be in a very disturbed state, with red, swollen eyes from sobbing. She was clearly shaken, and her emotional distress was evident. Social media fans who had followed the couple through their highs and lows were in a state of shock, disbelief, and terror as the news broke almost instantly. People who had once celebrated their relationship and cheered them on now had to cope with the reality that their cherished couple was embroiled in such a serious and distressing situation. The news spread quickly across platforms, and their fans struggled to understand how things had spiraled out of control so rapidly. Rasheeda's passionate Instagram post only added fuel to the fire. "I never thought I'd have to cope with this. I should be safeguarded and treated with dignity," she wrote, as a picture of her, displaying both strength and vulnerability, accompanied her words. The post went viral, with many sympathizing with her, but also offering various opinions on the events that had unfolded. As the story progressed, it became clear that what had happened was much more than a simple altercation born of anger. Instead, it was the result of deeper issues that had been plaguing their relationship for many years. These issues had been simmering beneath the surface for quite some time, and the pressure of their public lives only seemed to exacerbate the problems they faced in private. Celebrity insiders speculated about the toll that reality television stardom can have on personal relationships. The constant public scrutiny, the stress of keeping up with expectations, and the complications of maintaining a relationship in the spotlight were no small factors in the turmoil that had developed between the couple. In the days that followed the fallout, emotions were running high. What had once seemed like a fairy tale relationship had now become a highly publicized mess, with each new detail only adding to the drama. A powder keg of emotions was created by the strain of trying to maintain a flawless public appearance while grappling with private, personal issues. Despite the tensions, many of their supporters rallied around Rasheeda, urging her to prioritize her safety and well-being. She was not alone in this moment. Fans who had seen the couple endure so much over the years, rising to the top and falling into struggles time and time again, now found themselves questioning how much more they could take. While some supporters, out of loyalty, begged for compassion and understanding for Kirk, others believed Rasheeda deserved better and needed to focus on her own healing. One admirer expressed dissatisfaction with the overwhelming tension that seemed to permeate both online and real-world environments. The constant conflict, both in the media and in personal spaces, was exhausting. Rasheeda, however, began to turn to her family and close friends for guidance during this turbulent time. She needed their support as she searched for healing and understanding, something she had been struggling to find for some time. Reflecting on the years of her marriage, she realized that she had constantly balanced the highs and lows of their relationship, evaluating the benefits and drawbacks of every romantic vacation they had taken together. Each of those vacations, while seemingly a beautiful escape, often seemed to be accompanied by a moment of disappointment or betrayal that undermined her sense of security. It was clear now that the cracks in their marriage were far deeper than anyone had imagined, and the path forward wasn't going to be easy. In front of the cameras, their lives had always been a dichotomy. What viewers saw was often just the tip of the iceberg. The reality, as Rasheeda now understood, was far more complex. Behind closed doors, they had been struggling with issues that no one could have predicted. Kirk, in the meantime, had to cope with the legal fallout from his conduct. He was due in court soon, facing the consequences not just for his actions, but also for the true state of his marriage. As he prepared for his court appearance, he expressed deep feelings of grief, confusion, and regret. "I love Rasheeda, and I want to make things right," he said, acknowledging the mistakes he had made and the damage they had caused. Yet, the road to reconciliation was far from straightforward. Trust had been broken, and healing would require more than just words. It would demand a great deal of time, effort, and patience, if reconciliation was even possible at all. In the end, it wasn't just a matter of public scrutiny or legal consequences. It was about understanding the true depth of their problems and whether they could overcome the pain that had built up over the years. As the court hearing day approached, there was growing conjecture about what would happen and whether Kirk would accept responsibility for his actions. Would Rasheeda stand by him, or would she decide to leave him? The tension was palpable, and the public's curiosity about the couple only intensified. The stakes were higher than ever, and the drama unfolding was reminiscent of the most intense episodes of Love and Hip Hop, where emotions ran wild and the truth was often hard to decipher. As the situation continued to unfold, the question of loyalty remained at the forefront of everyone's mind. The story of Kirk and Rasheeda, once filled with hope and ambition, was now a gripping saga of conflict, deceit, and the unraveling of everything they had built. The tension reached its peak as Kirk moved through the dimly lit living room, a mounting sense of betrayal and bitterness following him at every turn. His words, barely more than a whisper, reflected the weight of Rasheeda's confession that now hung heavy on his heart. "You did it," he mumbled, his voice husky and commanding. "You betrayed me." Rasheeda crossed her arms and stood with a defiant expression on her face. "Kirk, you think you're the only one who can have fun once in a while? The purpose of my visit was not to assign blame." He was filled with astonishment and anger. "Did I know anyone else?" "Indeed. Did you? I guess I'll just have to step back and let it go. You have no right to question me. There were plenty of late nights and whispered conversations for you. Are you certain that I simply ignored it?" As he struggled to maintain control, his voice steadied and he took a step forward, hoping she might change. "Someone who is trodden. Why didn't you just tell me then? How come you didn't challenge me about my actions?" he went on. "I never wanted that, even though she admitted that the fire in her eyes had momentarily subsided. I believed that we were all on the same page. I couldn't wait for you to make up your mind. You really made me feel unworthy. Do you think I wanted to be the one to cheat because of this? I thought I had no choice. It was like striking a brick wall each time I tried to talk to you. I felt unnoticeable." Rasheeda shook her head, her eyes glimmering with unshed tears. Kirk took a deep breath, his face softening as he fully realized the weight of her words. "I didn't know," he said quietly. "I was trying to keep things light to protect you, to keep us from falling apart." He took another stride forward, his anger now laced with a hint of vulnerability. I've been doing everything I can to keep us afloat. But I see now how much I've failed. She shot back, but her voice was no longer as sharp or defensive. It was tinged with the exhaustion of a long battle. A friendship can't be built on silence and half-truths. We both know that. I'm sorry, she said, her voice breaking slightly. I thought I could handle everything on my own. I thought I could manage the weight of it all without asking for help. But I was wrong. I never meant to hurt you. Kirk stood there, lost for words. He wanted to say something, anything, but his throat felt tight. Rasheeda took a deep breath before asking, her voice barely above a whisper. What do you want now, Kirk? What do you want from us now?